Hello again everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today it is not a 1v1, it is a 4v4 on the map Rosetta. A very well known and well liked team map, but in 4v4s it's played a little bit differently than you see in AV8s. Now we've got some high skilled players in this game featuring the current #1 player in small teams, Emre. And as we press F5 here to see, we can see the opposite team has two pretty big names. We have Helshound and Randy here. Not only that, but we also have JTL and Droid making up the red team. Now, as obviously we mentioned, Emre here being a 63 OS, highest OS in this match, followed by a William Buxton fan, Puck, and Bacon Dude. So we'll just call William Buxton fan William just to make it easier, because otherwise it's really long. But yeah, so this map, what is there to note? Well, firstly, the middle mechs here is on both sides is 10 metal. On an 8v8, normally what you would have is you'd have your opponents actually just not even bother with the starting mexes and just rush at this point, because it is the most valuable metal point on the map. It is obviously equivalent of quite a lot of metal. Now there are higher value metal points on the map as well. You can see here these are 3.0s. The what would be air spot also has 3.0s, and the what would be tech spot also has 3.0s. I mean, pretty much every starting position has 3.0s, so a lot of metal to be had here. The rest of the metal points are scattered kind of a bit. 1.0s, 2.0s, as you can see. So a bit all over the place. It does mean that both teams here are going to end up with a lot of metal. So maybe we'll see tech free? Hard to say. Emre's starting in a slightly different position here than we see his opponent Droid. Droid has basically spawned in here. This gives Droid more pressure on the front because he's able to get units out quicker, but would force him to use bots, whereas Emre has chosen to go vehicles here. It does mean that his eco in theory should be more defended, but we'll see. Some early scouts from Droid managed to take out a metal extractor here, shut down 2 solars. Not the end of the world, but still some damage that he wasn't expecting. Meanwhile, in the center, William has a pretty nice raid that he's managing to kind of slip between the forces of Randy here. Not Randy, sorry, Hellhound and JTL. Hellhound forced to be bots in this position. A denial of a con turret. As we zoom out, the scouts get mopped up, but some blue ones from Emre still managed to make it by. And it is interesting to see how much like early raiding you get in a 4v4 compared to like 8v8s. 8v8s is kind of even pointless to even build scouts, but you can see both players here pumping out mostly just scouts. We're about to hit the 4-minute mark, and there's still some scouts being produced in and around here. Droid attempting another bit of a raid here, but gets shot down pretty effectively by a combination of LLTs and Huck. Now we're going to generally focus mostly on Emre and Hellhound here, the two highest OS players, which is why they've selected in the cameras here. Hellhound being quite a bit slower to get out of his starting position here. Considering he spawned further forward, you would think he should be able to get further towards the middle of the map quicker. However, he's just been harassed so much that Emre has actually managed to move forces pretty far forward. Now, we're seeing combined numbers here on economy, just so you know. So, although it looks like red blue economy numbers, it is actually both sides. And actually we do need to check this out, as a huge force by Huck has managed to get through, and there is nothing stopping this marching straight towards Droid's base. And Huck just sending even more forces this way. This could be some pretty substantial damage here. Huck's able to inflict. Fortunately, Huck backs off and only one metal extractor was destroyed, as well as a radar droid in a pretty bad spot there, unfortunately. JTL letting some scouts through at the back. And although a nice self-destruct there from Randy kills one, it's not going to stop the rest of them, as there's no LLTs in the back line either. And William doing some pretty nice work here, managing to kind of find some holes where Randy's left open here, picking up a couple of metal extractors. Meanwhile, Emre and Helshound at the bottom are playing it safe right now. Neither player wants to really engage, letting the fighting take place elsewhere. And pretty much everyone is pressuring the top here. William and Huck pushing pretty hard in here, focusing quite a lot on Randy, and this high value metal extractor here is in danger. Self-destruct planned of an LLT and he stopped it just in time, but that's a lot of metal to lose. JTL attempting to try a bit of aggro there, but not really able to do too much. And again, some more forces of William Buxton managing to do damage to Randy here. Randy really getting the short end of the stick. Losing not only his high value metal extractor, but also two in his main base. And he's just not really got much he can do with it. JTL attempting to try and find a gap, but he's about to run into two armies and get sandwiched pretty quick. Randy in a pretty bad spot. Tech 2 transition started by Helshound. Emre has it queued up, not there yet. And surprisingly, William here actually full transitioning to air. Almost built two factories and is queuing up some bombers. This has left him pretty weak on the front, considering he didn't do damage actually against his lane opponent. He was doing damage to Randy. Said Slick. I wonder if William is Slick. Slick like Vic, if people aren't aware of the name. It doesn't say because he hasn't changed it anytime soon, but bombers have been spotted. So we'll see how much value they're able to get. Both teams, sorry.
Commander
cranking out air, and Randy's comm actually goes down in the center here. He makes sure he didn't lose much of his army though, and there's a decent amount of rocket bots that aren't being microed. Randy, move your rocket bots. Rocket bots able to keep range, but Bacon coming in here to assist Huck as well. Droid really now needs to make the effort to put some damage in. But even with that air being spotted, the bombers have managed to make it through, doing a little bit of damage. Not that much, to be honest. Could have been more. Oh, saying that, they did just take out like a huge chunk of solars. Pounder's getting pretty close, able to get some damage dealt. And Huck does manage to get the commander wreck, and that's all that matters, really. Meanwhile, at the bottom, the line that Helshound has built in the wall has kind of helped keep Emre at bay. There's not really much going on at this bottom side at all. Both players ecoing up, and that's pretty much it. All of the fighting is taking place at the north, where both Droid and Bacon have also gone air themselves. However, Droid did not build any fighters whatsoever, and those bombers are not going to make it through. However, Bacon's ones definitely do, and this is a lot of bombers. Say goodbye to that Geo. Did not take out the factory, but Bacon may be about to be wiped out here. Randy not rushing to build any AA here either. He does have quite a few thistles, but I mean, we'll see about how far that's going to happen, as here comes the bombing wave. Huge amount of damage. Pretty much half of the energy production Randy had is gone, and the bombers are still going. Geo that wasn't finished, now getting destroyed. Droid has just gone screw it and has basically gone on all in. Self-destruct of a fiend does tremendous damage though.
Commander
But
destroyed.
very, very well played, Bacon. That was a very good bombing run. And it just shows the amount of damage that was able to get done there. It's not over, but that is a lot of damage. But with Huck transition into Tech 2 here, he has left himself on a bit of the light side here when it comes to units. Spybots and bedbugs, though, coming out in an attempt to make that unit number very much the opposite way around. Bacon's not moving his commander, just getting 3 hits from the rocket bots here. Boom. I feel like Randy has been picked on a little bit here. Not only did he have William, he had Huck and Bacon attack him. Whereas Helshound and Emre have just been sat at the bottom here. Not really doing too much, to be honest with you. We have Tech 2 vehicles versus Sheldon's. This Sheldon ball is going to become a bit of a problem for Emery soon if he's not careful. So far, it's not really that much of a problem as the bulls have such a high health. It's not going to be an issue. Also in the center here, we've got some Mausers. And JTL is only just getting Tech 2, but he did lose quite a bit of his energy production. Droid is basically out of the fight right now, so Randy is in essence 2v1ing, so it's not looking good for Randy, to be honest with you. So JTL and Hellhound need to make a move quick here, otherwise their top is gonna collapse. Bacon Dude on the minimap pushing out a lot of Sheldons. I'm presuming they're Sheldons. Yes, they are Sheldons. Nice rattlesnake here, which is going to cause some problems for the Sheldon bolt. Tick spam as well, which will make it a bit harder for the Hellhound to do damage. He hasn't built a Juno yet. He could choose to build a Juno, and that would pretty much end the problem of the scout spam. Just turn it into pawn spam instead, but still. But Droid with nothing left, he got flat zeroed. No one's like gifting comms, sorry, not comms, constructors, Tech 2 constructors to each other, which I find interesting. In a small map like this, you would have thought Randy ideally would have gifted one to Droid to help get back in the game, but no. The arbiters are doing enough to basically keep these bulls moving. Hellhound's come right in the center of this army here. Ready to degun if anything comes up. Emre's got a bunch of blitzes here, ready to pounce if something does get too close. But I don't think Randy's much longer for this world, to be honest with you. Droid is collapsing here. He is attempting a tumbleweed and scout spam here in an attempt to try and take out this Sheldon ball with some EMP bots here. See how well it works. Come on. You can do it. No, you moved the tumbleweeds too soon. No, you were supposed to wait. Poor droid. Tried and failed. You know what? Hellhound here just is very, very slowly pushing forward. There's some sumos here to field for the Sheldons. Are they really doing too much though? Like all the Sheldons, they're not really going anywhere. Juno coming in. This is what that green circle is. And shurikens as well. A huge shuriken wave marches over. There is some flak in here though, which does not get EMP'd in time. And now there's not enough sumos. Emre is marching towards Hellhound. Sumos get taken out. There are still more sumos left, and pretty much nothing has really changed on this line here. Emre has not really lost much. Still producing Tech 2. Will in the middle here actually transition into Tech 3 now. Probably going to go Marauders or Rattlesnakes is what I'm expecting to see. Meanwhile, at the top, I won't show you it, but Droid is basically getting completely demolished. And is not much longer for this world. Randy is attempting to help, but it's not doing too much. Emery's commander here is in range of this Sheldon ball, or at least the Arbiters. Rattlesnake does get taken out, and there's not many units left at this front here for Emre. Emre is in a bit of a dangerous position. He's cloaking his comm here. And Marauders now making their way out. We'll quickly switch across the top. We can see that Droid is desperately trying to hold on here. He's built some hounds, but these hounds are going to get demolished very quickly with sumos sat in the front line. And Randy is trying to help, but there's only so much he can do. But the Sheldon ball of Hellhound is completely destroyed. Desperately trying to get some of this reclaim. Some welders has run up, but 1.4 aphuses on the ground. 13k of metal is a huge amount. More rattlesnakes are really just going to deny this entire reclaim field, and Emre has so much metal now to eat. And Randy's front has been so slow that Huck's actually pushing JTL now instead, giving William even more time for Tech 3. Randy having to 2v1, as we said earlier on, it's going to be a bit difficult for him to be able to contest his lane opponent effectively. Hellhound drastically trying to get some Shivas on the front here. And a long-range plasma cannon is being built by Emre. I don't think it's going to get there in time, but Droid somehow managing to solidify his position for now, mostly because Bacon's kind of just scaling up at the back. 3 fusions already. Droid is not without a single fusion. Randy desperately here in an attempt to build a nuke to try and change the game a bit. The entire enemy team has anti-nuke already. Helshound's comm in a precarious situation.
Destroyed.
JTL loses his comm just north of that. Starlight's coming out. Do make short work of Marauders, so right, cool. Juno now useless at the bottom with the tick spam being changed over to pawn spam. And the Shivas are actually going into the middle. Or they were, not anymore. William unable to answer the Starlights. Thinks that he is dead. Tac nuke being built in the center by Huck. I don't think you're dead yet. Surprised the tops managed to hold for this long. Droid is doing a tremendous job at just holding out. I think it's also maybe Bacon is not wiping out his opponent. I mean, you can definitely tell. Look how much he's built here. Persecutors, pop-ups. He's purposefully not killing Droid. Which is funny because if he did, it would pretty much end the game. Because he'd be able to just run down the back. But no. Hellhound pushing out now. Shivas with grunt spam. Long-range plasma cannon has been finished, and it is targeting the AGO on top of the hill. There is build power there keeping it alive. It probably would have been better focused at the build power of
Commander destroyed.
Tech 3. Emery's comm going down. Emery doesn't know about this kind of frontline position here. Trying to focus down that build power. Gets the Tech 2 con. Long range plasma cannon gone as well. Now, Emery did say he was fine. Is that still the case? As luckily enough, this is approved. But at the same time, this Tech 3, because of the Starlights, are being forced back. All Randy's got to do is hold off Puck as long as he can and try and hold off Bacon, but Bacon is churning out Tech 3 at a rate that he might not be prepared for right now. Hellhound needs to make as big an impact as possible, as quick as possible here. Starlight's about to get swarmed though. And with that, the Bulls get destroyed soon after. There go the Starlights. And the Bulls get taken out, leaving most of the base of William left alive. Not all of it, bear in mind, but most of it. Shiva's still marching on. Oh, the Starlight misses. Focus the build power. Second wave. Oh, it does get the build power wave. Not enough damage to chain. Oh, well, that missile was about to land on those energy converters. Now, there is a lot of build power lost, but it's not the build power that was actually assisting the factory, so it's not too big a deal, but William is getting rolled here by a combined force of JTL and Hellhound. Beamer's being rushed up, some Starlights in the back as well. But Emery doesn't have Tech 3. EMP missing. But at the top, as we quickly switch over, this is a terrible idea. Bacon stuck between the forces of Droid and Randy. Droid attempting to go for a D-gun here.
Commander destroyed.
William GG's. And this is now a race as to who can take out each other's bases. The production rate of Bacon's units are a lot more than what Hellhound is pushing out. So the question is, how long can Randy hold off? Does he have a nuke ready? He almost has one. He could nuke this Shiva ball. It may be enough to save him, at least for a little bit. Catapults in the background. Where's it going, Randy? It's ready. Use it or lose it. Danger close nuke. We'll get the catapults at least. We'll not get any of the Shivas though, unfortunately. Does do significant damage to them. And with that, Randy is out. JTL needs to desperately switch his production to a different direction. Same with Hellhound, really, if anything. Hellhound marching up. Taken out Emery. Is Bacon able to win this though for blue team? It's still anyone's game. Bacon is pushing hard, hitting JTL's economy now. Shurikens are trying to delay this, but there's another fusion gone. Fighter force here to protect the Shurikens. Will it be enough to stop these? It will be maybe for now, but I don't think this is necessarily GG here. I mean, if these guys keep going and get this, like... but blue team calls the GG. Tech 3 had just been switched by JTL there, so he might have been able to pull that out. But very well played. I mean, Droid, well done for not giving up. That should have been you dead very early on. Bacon definitely needed to make the most of the damage it inflicted. Did scale up the economy, but left it way too late. And because he left it so late, Hellhound was able to make the most of it and take out the two bottom players. Very, very good match. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Don't forget to do all of the YouTube malarkey, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And I'll see you all next time.